We are a lesbian couple. We're both from Iran. We moved to Australia at different times and we found each other here and we've found love. We have decided not to show our faces today because of possible ramifications back home, but we are very happy to have our stories heard. Homosexuality in Iran is punishable by law, which could include lashes or it could be as extreme as death penalty.
If you're living in Iran, you should be loyal to Islamic rules. So you can't be loyal to Islamic rules if you're gay.
So it's very difficult to say and suggest that whoever is gay is going to be executed in Iran, because that is not quite true. And a lot of people are gay in Iran or queer in Iran, and I don't want to say that they're living freely, but they are creative. So they find ways to live their lives. But by law, it is considered a criminal act.
Cultural suppression is that there are some harmful practices happening in Iran that if you're doing something haram, which is having sexual relationship with people outside of marriage or like having same-sex relationships, if your family members kill you, it is called honor killing. So it is still a crime, but they can get away with it, and it's praised by the community member that you washed away the sins from your family by killing a person inside of your family. It's also not uncommon. Most of the time, family is the primary sources for punishment. And in case of usually lesbians, it's forced marriage, that they force their girls to marry someone. It can be honor killing as well, but mostly it's like the first step is forced marriage.
It didn't play on my mind because we're very privileged and aware of that. And we come from educated families, we live in bigger cities.
The maximum that I could imagine from my parents and my family was that they just stopped loving me. That's it. That's the maximum. So I think for me, until I came to Australia for the first time in 2010 to do my master's, it was quite something which I was afraid to be. And I came out to my mom 4 months ago. It took me 10 years because I was very afraid of losing her. I even couldn't talk to her about that. I just wrote a letter and sent that as a message. And she was very nice, very welcoming, very lovely. She sent me a very lovely message saying that, yeah, I always knew.
The most important day in my journey would have been the day that I decided that it's time, I'm coming out to my mum. And I FaceTimed my mum and I said, can we talk? She said, okay, what's happening? And I struggled for a bit. And then I said, I'm not straight. And I burst into tears. And then she smiled and she said, I am very happy for you. She said, I'm very happy that you have finally allowed yourself to be. And I think at that moment, the burden of the world was lifted off my shoulders. And I was thinking, why did I wait for 34 years and 6 months? I should have known this. I should have come out.
I think it's getting more and more rebellious among young people, and particularly young women in Iran, that I am in awe of their bravery, of what they are doing. Even right now in Iran, like the footages and videos that are coming out, even from high school girls, they are protesting, very, very rebellious protest.
What we're witnessing today in Iran is what is considered to be the first women-led revolution with the slogan Women, Life, Freedom. It started after the death of Jina Mahsa Amini, a Kurdish Iranian woman who was arrested by Marathi police in Iran because of inappropriate hijab, and she died in police custody. Her death ignited massive uprisings across the country, leading to what we're witnessing today.
So, for example, today we talk a little bit also about the protest and uprising that is happening inside the borders of Iran, but also massive protests of Iranians in diaspora all around the world, including Australia. Probably for the first time in Iranians' history, it's the first time that the LGBTIQ plus community is out there, visibly out there, in some conservative cities that we know that they are culturally or religiously conservative, or kissing each other in front of the Azadi Tower, which is a very, very symbolic act, while the punishment for being gay in Iran is up to execution. So this is a very interesting act of bravery.
It is said, and hopefully it's true, that it is not just a political revolution, it's also a social revolution, and at its heart, it's equity. It has brought together voices from communities and people who have been historically marginalized and discriminated against in Iran, including ethnic minorities, women, and people from the LGBTQI plus community. And I think this is something that we are seeing for the first time in Iran and is incredible to witness.
It's the time that the world should stop looking at them as a victim, and empowering their voices is more important than victimizing their experiences. They are there, they are taking the risk, they are putting up the flags. It's because they want change.
Other people's voices have allowed me to be the person I am today. And it has been through their advocacy, through their work, through their activism that I can be proud of who I am. And I think that we have to continue this until everyone is in that position of being able to be proud.